Joining the show today is someone our ears hear frequently. Now he's Ludacris tour DJ. You hear him in the hottest nightclubs. He's involved in some of the hottest tracks out right now. And he's worked with some of the biggest artists in the game. Welcome to the HD Connection, DJ Infamous.
Talk to me.
Hey man, Infamous, I want to start this thing off first. I got to start it off right because I got to let the people know how me and you met.
Yeah.
And we met out there in Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
The Falcons, they brought the alumni out there. They brought people who's involved in the organization out there. And they had a little party at night. They had a little night party, right? And, my dog, Infamous, he was the DJ. And Infamous, tell him who's one of the best MCs out there.
Listen, HD's listen, let me tell you something. It's very rare that I'm in parties and somebody that used to be in sports hosts parties and does it well. Let me say that. And does it well. So in the beginning, I'm like, well, you know what? He's around his peers, so go let him rock, right? This is before I even knew what you were doing. I'm just a team player like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a team player. Yes, so when I see a vibe, I kind of want to see where it's gonna go. The next thing you know, 5-10 minutes later, I said, oh, I ain't gotta say nothing. He got it. Harry got it all day. What you want to do next? You know what I'm saying? And
I was so hyped. I was so hyped, but my wife was like, listen, somebody get the microphone from him, please. Get the microphone from him. And I'm like, nah, not tonight.
Because you know what it was? You had energy. And here's another thing. When you're a DJ, I'll speak for myself. I like to look for people that are not moving in the club. I don't look at the people that's already moving. I look for the people that are not moving, that are not, energetic. I look for those people. So mentally, I'm like, okay, I got to get them moving because I got everybody else moving. At that party at the Cayman Islands, I feel like that's exactly what you did. Like you catered to the people that was moving, but then you was like, Jim, hold on, Jim, you ain't moving. Hold on, you didn't cater to them personally to get them on the dance floor, to get them energetic, and that's what creates a party.
Facts, man. I love it, man. I love it. Listen, I had so much fun that night, and listen, you're one of the best in the business. And I love everything that you do. So I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
At what age did you fall in love with DJing and music?
I was 12, man. I started with DJing when I was 12. I fell in love with music heavy when I was maybe like 10. I had an older sister and she in the music heavy, she's 4 years older than me. And then at the time, her boyfriend was a DJ. So while she's introducing me to a lot of the new music, her boyfriend at the time, he was already a DJ, so I was always around him. So I was just fascinated on how he would, make mixtapes in in his room and stuff like that. So when I became 12 years old, I was like, I want to do that. Like I was 11, just turned 12. I got like $40 for Christmas, and I used that $40 to buy turntables. So from him, he was selling some used turntables, and I was like, well, let me buy them. And he was like, it feels kind of weird charging, my girlfriend's little brother, but he's like, what you got? I got $40. He was like, take them. So he gave me 2 turntables, no mixer, and he gave me some records. So then the whole process of me learning like equipment was, I'm like, okay, I got 2 turntables, but I have no mixer. So, all right, I went to Radio Shack. My mom took me to Radio Shack, bought a mixer. He didn't tell me how to put it together, so I kind of had to figure it out. Yeah, so the thing is, that's how I started. I started like, nobody actually taught me how to do these things. I had to just figure it out. And I think that was good for me because, at that age, about 13, I know what I'm doing. I know how to mix, I know how to blend. It took about a good year, some change to really good, nice and polished. And yeah, man, I started real young, man. Like I did my first party at 12.
Man, that's crazy.
Started at 12 and before I turned 13, my first party. So yeah.
Look, and you just took me back. You said Radio Shack. See, this new generation, that y'all don't understand what Radio Shack is. Y'all know about Best Buy and all these other places. We had Radio Shack growing up. Fact. Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Now, besides your sister's boyfriend, did anybody else inspire you and influence you, or were you just mesmerized by the DJ movement from him?
Actually, it was him, and I watched the movie Juice. The movie Juice. Yeah, so the movie Juice was like, it was fascinating to me. So I'm like, dang, he's DJing in his bedroom, and then he goes to do this DJ competition with his boys, and just the whole experience. I was like, I'm like, damn, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? And then watching my sister's boyfriend, you know, like a year or two later, it was just like, oh, this is the same thing. Like I can really see it now. Like before, you know, I don't know no DJs, and my family is not in entertainment, or nothing around me or my family is in entertainment. So I never physically seen it until I watched my sister's boyfriend. I actually went to his room, and it was the same setup from the movie. You know, got the turntables on a desk next to the bedroom, next to the bed set. And, you know, I actually got to see it, and I'm just like, oh, shit. You know, I mean, like, damn, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, at 12, I'm like, yo, I have to do this. I have to do it. And, you know,
see,
time,
that feeling right there that you have,
yeah,
bro, after I MC, so I MC my my son's baby shower, right?
Okay.
We had it at a little venue, had a DJ in there. I said, man, I gotta learn how to DJ.
Yeah.
I gotta learn how to DJ. So at some point, Infamous, you gotta teach me how to DJ, because that's where it's at, man. That's
I got you. Listen, you got the talk game down pat. You learn the DJ, and you're a complete package.
But
just don't try to take none of my gigs. Don't try to take none of my gigs, all right? Don't try to take none of my gigs.
Nah, I got you. I'm a loyal person, man. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna backstab you. Backstabbers. I ain't gonna do it to you, man.
I bet.
Now you grew up in Michigan in the cold weather. First of all, I don't know how you did it, but most salute to you, brother.
Man.
And I know you had to be the man. Everyone wanted you to DJ their parties, their events, school dances. But at that time, you was known as Cal.
Yeah.
Tell us how you became DJ Infamous, though.
All right, so everybody that I grew up with just, you know me as Cal. You know what I'm saying? And thing about it is, when the DJ Infamous thing comes up, the people that know me as Cal still call me Cal, unless they're around people that doesn't know Cal. You know what I'm saying? So let's say I'm Cal one minute, the next minute I'm DJ Infamous, and then the same people that's around me is always Cal. It's never Infamous until it's like maybe like we're in a setting to where nobody knows me but that person that calls me Cal still. So I didn't really get that transformation till maybe 14, 15. I started DJing a teen club. It was a 17 and under club. I got on the radio. Yeah, I got on the radio in 10th grade. So I was what, 15. And so when the radio and the teen club came, that's when the whole Cal thing started really turning into the Infamous thing. And like, you know, I was popular just because of who I hung around. And I had a lot of friends, but I wasn't like the star football player, the star basketball player. Like I played both sports, but I was like 6-man basketball. And then football, I played receiver. I think I was like fourth in line or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Fourth receiver. So it was like, you know, I played sports, I was popular, but the DJ thing was a whole nother, like people didn't even know I played sports when the DJ stuff popped off. You know, they didn't be like, oh, that's Infamous number 83. It didn't connect. So like a lot of people just didn't really know I was in sports because the DJ thing took off. And so when, you know, I'm on the radio every Saturday at 9 o'clock, then after the radio, go to a teen club, like straight there. And so like during school, it was like going in homeroom, and then you know, Infamous, can I get on the guest list on Friday? And this is Monday, homeroom at 8 o'clock in the morning. I ain't thinking about no club. I ain't thinking about nothing. Wow. I'm barely wiping the stuff out my eyes, and I'm getting that. So every day it's like the Infamous thing started getting bigger and bigger. And then I'm gonna tell you what also did it for me. So, you know, I'm from Lansing, Michigan. You know, Plaxico Burress went to Michigan State.
Yep.
So like when he's in college, you know, I'm like 10th grade, 11th grade while he's in college. And the turning point got bigger when I started DJing Michigan State parties while I was in high school. So like
that's crazy right there, man.
Like a lot of the parties.
That's how you know you that dude.
Plaxico was at like Michigan State. You know how colleges have the icebreakers or you know, the college parties that the university throws.
Yeah.
They'd hire me to DJ those. You know what I'm saying? So when I first met Plaxico Burress, was actually in an auditorium party that I was DJing. And he was like, you know, the star of, you know, the Michigan State and all that. And there's a lot of those guys that from back then I used to DJ those parties. And I'm in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to have permission from my parents to stay out a certain amount of time, and you know, I had to check in, like, you know, as soon as I get done DJing, call or make a phone call, like, Mom, okay, after I get done DJing, I'm gonna go to Denny's and get me some food, then I'll be home. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it was, you know, it was a real thing, man. Like, and you know what's crazy? That prepared me for when I got older.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And shout out to your parents though, man, because you know, I tell people all the time, sometimes parents can be their kids' worst enemy without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Your parents seen a gift that you had and let you flourish. You know what I mean? They let you be, they let you go. You know what I mean? They didn't try to hold you back, put them shackles on you. So that was major as well.
Yeah, you know, my parents, okay, my dad didn't really care until money got involved. My dad is an accountant. You know what I'm saying? And he worked for the school district. So the minute I mentioned I'm gonna get paid for this DJing thing, because he didn't know my dad country, he don't know what's going on. But the minute the money came in, and he's like, "Oh, so you getting paid from this now?" I'm like, "Well, I got an offer for a gig. It's only for $50, but you know, hey, I never had $50 before to DJ." So then that's how I learned about taxes, and I learned about getting checks and stuff like that. Because my dad, my mom was a school teacher, so she didn't really know what's going on either. She's just like, okay, he has these turntables, he's playing the music loud, and he's but mom, you know, she just let me do it because one, I'm staying out of trouble. After school, I did all my work and studying just as DJ and practice. So she's seeing, okay, he's loving to do whatever this thing he's doing it. And my parents kind of just let me go with it. And as it got bigger, they just supported it. You know what I'm saying? And they learned all the way, just like I did. You know, my dad still didn't understand. The only thing my dad understood was, okay, you getting hired for a gig. Okay, here's your you know, your W-9 and 2 or whatever, and here's your tax ID number and all this other stuff. And I'm just, you know, he's giving it to me, and I'm like, so then when I get my check, and he's like, I'm like, yo, why did it's not a full $50? I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, them is taxes. It's called taxes. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, why are they taking that out though? Like, they didn't DJ that, I DJ'd that, you know. And that's how I learned about really getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my second gig. My first real gig was I got paid $30 to DJ at 8th grade graduation. I'm in 8th grade graduate, and that was cash. So then when the whole check came, and I'm like, somebody took money out and they ain't get, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I learned, you know what I'm saying? So it was good for my parents too, because, you know, it was something different outside in my whole family, nobody's in entertainment. My whole family is either you're self-employed, you work for a police department, or you in the army, or like a lot of my aunties were teachers and stuff like that. Nobody in my family's in entertainment at all. So this was like a shocker for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just a shocker. And then being a teacher's kid and an accountant kid, you know, some people be like, well, how did that even enter your world? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I did a lot of watching Rap City, and then, you know, Movie Juice, then my sister's boyfriend, and then I pretty much was like, yo, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That's dope. So you migrated from the north down to that dirty south.
Had to, man.
Where you attended Alabama A&M, HBCU.
Yep.
Well, I know you had a good time, but I'm gonna talk to you about that off camera. You know what I mean? I know you had a good time because I used to visit a lot of HBCUs in my days, and I had a good time.
Man, it changed my life, Jack.
But tell me, man, what was it like attending the HBCU?
It was good. You know, I'm not gonna say it was a culture shock. Okay, in high school, I went to I went to private school for 4 years. And then after private school, when I got to 8th grade to high school was public. So it was just different. And the high school I went to was mixed. So I grew up in the mixed crowds. Like my neighbors was white, next to them Asian, black. Like my neighborhood was mixed. Like you had Mexicans everybody was mixed. So I didn't grow up with like a full black neighborhood, a full white neighborhood. It was like a combination of everybody. So when I got to Alabama A&M, and I'm just seeing it's like, you know, just all black people at a university. And then it was like in the South, which the heat I wasn't used to. I had cornrows before. and I cut my hair right before school started because I said, yo, you know what, this heat and this hair is not gonna work. So and it was dope to see, you know, that many African Americans on one campus, everybody trying to achieve the same goal. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, for me, like at that point, I'm so heavy in the business and marketing that you know, my marketing switch turns on. So I'm like, oh, okay, so dang, there's all these fraternities, man, there's all these sororities, dang, there's a student government association. Okay, then you got all the sports teams and they all want parties. They all gotta have parties. So immediately I'm like, I need to tap in.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So the first thing I needed to do was, I was like, you know what? The campus outside the summertime never shuts down and they always got events. So to me, I said, you know what? I need to be a part of SGA or work on campus to get in some kind of way. So, and that's what I did. I had a work study job, and then with that work study job, I had access to certain stuff. So then I went to SGA, and I can attend those meetings and stuff like that because I worked on the campus already, and that's how I got in with the school. You know what I'm saying? They found out I was a DJ off me telling them and showing them, and they like, well, you know, you're a freshman, so DJ all the freshman stuff. Did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about everything.
They put you in, man. They put you in.
Yeah, and then the thing is, when you young and you hungry, you just got to show that. You just got to make sure when the opportunity comes, your talent is there. So that
say it one more time, Infamous. Say it one more time.
You got to make sure, like when you're hungry, and when you're hungry, you got to make sure that when the opportunity comes, your talent is at a level to where when the opportunity comes to you, you're already ready to go. Like I don't get ready. I'm ready. It's what time is it? It's 11:34 here in Miami right now. If somebody says come DJ this, the presidential Biden party hosted by Jay-Z, I'll go do it right now and be ready to rock, no matter what.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
And that's exactly what happened. And then when my first fraternity party was Omega Psi Phi, they called, knocked their party down. Then the Kappas called, then the Alphas called, knocked them down. Next thing you know, the sororities called. The next thing you know, SGA kept calling. You know, next thing you know, I'm DJing a dean's party, like outside of the campus. They had a private get together, and one of the deans asked me to DJ a party. No, I'm a kid. I don't know what to play at this old person party, but guess what? I was ready. Next thing you know,
that's the thing, man. Listen, you don't know when your next opportunity gonna be, so you have to be ready.
You gotta be ready.
And whether it's in your field, it don't matter what field it is. When your opportunity comes, if you're not ready, you don't know if you're gonna get another one. So when the opportunity comes, you better be ready and be ready to perform at all costs.
Facts. And a lot of my career have been off of the opportunity presented itself, and I was ready to go. You know, and then same thing. You know, sophomore year of college, radio came to me. I got on the radio, the city radio, not the college radio, but the city radio station, and then it took off from there again. You know what I'm saying? Up until I graduated, and I stayed on the radio until like the summer I graduated. Then I had to leave. Atlanta was calling me, man.
Oh, I'm about to jump right into that.
Yeah.
So you leave Alabama A&M, you come here to Atlanta, Georgia. What led you to the Peach State?
Now my senior year of college, before my senior year of college, I was like, yo, I need to intern somewhere. So my mom had moved from Michigan to Atlanta. So I said, yo, perfect. I need to try to intern at a radio station in Atlanta. So that way I can leave this small market and come to a big market. So the summer before my senior year, I interned there. And then I interned at Disturbing the Peace Records, which their office was right around the corner from V103 where I'm at now. So I got on, and this is the thing, I had a record, a 12-inch record, is Ludacris' record, and it had their office address and number on the record. So I called it. I was like, yo, do y'all do internships? They was like, yeah. They was like, can you come to the office tomorrow? You know what I'm saying, for the interview? I said, yeah. Now, no, I'm in Alabama 3 hours away when I made this phone call. So I hopped in my car, drove all the way to Atlanta, did the interview. The interview was set for 6 p.m. Drove through traffic, got there, did the interview, and drove right back, 3 hours back. 2 days later, got the call, was like, yo, your internship has been accepted. We'll see you in the summertime. Cool. So now I'm DJing, I'm interning at V103 and Disturbing the Peace Records, Ludacris' label. So that's
and you
how
was hungry, man.
I was
You was
hungry.
hungry.
And I have 2 nickels. I have, you know, I made money in college. Like I made a lot of money in college doing parties and, you know, getting the door, but I blew it all as soon as I got it. So like you think I'm 19, 20. So if I got $3,000 off a party, off a door, it's gone 2-3 days later. Just, you know, young, dumb, wilding out, you know what I'm saying? Just having fun. You know what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money, but I wasn't keeping it like that. So
now you interning at V103. You interning at Disturbing the Peace.
Yep.
You and Ludacris connected. 2011, you became his tour. Oh, y'all haven't connected then?
Nah, like real talk. I probably, when I was an internship, I probably seen Ludacris probably maybe 3 times out the whole summer. Because you know, this is like 2004, and he's on top of the world doing tours. So I ran into him maybe a couple times, and you know, he didn't remember who I was. You know what I'm saying? But it was the same speech. Yo, what's up, DJ Infamous? I'm an intern. Da 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 da. Okay, what's up? What's up? Next time I see him, yo, what's up, DJ Infamous? I'm the intern. Da da da. Okay, that's what's happening. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I just kept doing it every time I see him.
Hey, you put it in his mind.
Putting his head. But here's the thing, though. The crazy thing is, while I'm interning, his old A&R, his road manager today, his engineer, we all interned at the same time. Like everybody that has a career with him right now, back then we all interned at the same time. We all put up poster boards for the company. We all, you know, put up, you know, passed out flyers. All of us did. And it's crazy how when you jump to 2011,
wow,
how everything works out. Like JP, his road manager, we was in the trenches together. Like we passed out flyers, we put up poster boards. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that called me he was like, yo, Ludacris, you know, got rid of his old DJ. He's looking for a DJ. Now I know when this phone call is made, I'm infamous in Atlanta already. I'm the man.
Yeah.
So I'm doing Velvet Room, Compound, every big club in Atlanta is mine.
Hold on, what room you said again?
Velvet Room.
Don't you take me back. Don't you take me back. Don't you take me back to that Velvet Room. Don't you do me like that.
Listen, I'm talking about Velvet Room. That was my baby, man. No, Visions was my baby. Vision nightclub was
don't you do it. Oh, don't you do it. Listen, Vision might have been one of the best clubs all time that I've been through, man.
Yeah.
Because they had the different rooms, the setup.
It was big, and the DJ booth was in the middle, and it was just the Visions is the Vision nightclub. Shout out to AG Entertainment. That's the club that gave me my real big break in Atlanta. That nightclub gave me that's how I got my name in Atlanta. Like people started knowing who I was when I DJ'd that club. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's where from the radio and doing those parties is when me and Ludacris' relationship started to get, like, not the intern days, but when I'm infamous now, I'm doing all the hot album release parties, birthday parties for everybody, and then we established a relationship. And then by the time they called me in 2011 to DJ for him, you know, I'm infamous already. I'm on the radio 6 days a week, got the biggest parties 6 nights a week, and I'm established, you know what I'm saying? But I reached a point where from 2005 to 2011, that's all I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I've been on TV and all kind of stuff like that, but I never traveled nowhere because I'm just in Atlanta all the time. Like, you know, if I did travel out of town, it'd be like out, do a party or be on TV and then come right back. It was no like, I'm DJing All-Star Weekend in this city or I'm DJing Super Bowl weekend in this city. Nah, because the Super Bowl weekend, wherever the Super Bowl was hosted at, wherever city that's at, I'm in Atlanta DJing the Super Bowl party, after party at the club in Atlanta. Like I couldn't travel because I'm so, you know, I got so many clubs here and they all rely on me. It's like, you know, when you at the top DJ game, it's like the promoters don't want you to leave because every holiday weekend is a big weekend, or every Grammy weekend is a big weekend, no matter what city you in. So I never left. And so I reached a ceiling point. And so I was like, yo, I didn't even question it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so JP was like, well, we're going to go overseas. We're going to do like 8 countries in 2 weeks. I said, most definitely I'm going. I didn't know. I thought it was temporary. I thought it was just for, because I'm on the radio heavy. I'm not thinking they're going to ask me to leave all that to go on the road with him. I'm not thinking that, because I wasn't thinking. I was like, well, I could take a 2-week break. It's all good. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't never been to, before that trip, I've been to Japan. I've never been to Singapore, Indonesia. We went to Seoul, Korea. We went to China. We went to India. We went to.
Wow.
I've never been to France. And then there was another country on that run. I can't remember, but it was like 8 countries, man. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then I ain't never been in front of like 20,000 people, 30,000 people, 50,000. I ain't never been in front of that many people before. So it was like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, damn, this is crazy. So we get off the road, and then they call me back the next week for another show. And they call me back again. They just kept calling me back. So I'm 2 months in, and I'm calling off a radio every week. I'm calling off for the clubs every week. And Chris was like, yo, we're just gonna make this permanent if you want to accept it. I said, hell yeah. And he was like, you sure? You got a lot going on. So I looked at everything and I was like, man, you know what? For the last 6-7 years, I've been just the club radio guy.
Yep.
I ain't gonna front. Now I want to see something. My passport done got stamped up a little bit, and I got paid for it. I want to see something. And so that's why I said I happily accepted, and everything else changed from there.
But that's why today, when I knew you was coming on, I said, you know what? Let me put my globe right here. let me put my little Paris signs right here with the Eiffel Towers on them.
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Yeah, I see.
Excuse me. I want to ask you, what's your favorite place to DJ in the entire world?
It's 2 of them. One was Romania, and the other one was Singapore. Man, I had a great time in Singapore.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm talking about
love, man.
Romania. The energy level was crazy, man. It was this club called I forgot the name of it. It holds like 4,000 people, man. And the club didn't close till like 9 in, and they had me DJ there 4 nights. So it was just like my set time was like 3 a.m. to 7 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like I got pictures in the video of watching the sun coming up, and the club is still crazy. And that was probably I haven't been back, but that was probably the best experience I've ever had overseas.
That's what's up. Yeah. So now I want to talk about a song that you had your hands in that happens to be one of my favorite songs. Okay. The song Itchin with Future.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this story. So the first time I heard this song Itchin, right? I'm in Club Compound, right? And the DJ didn't drop that thing. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I went to the DJ. I said, here go $50 if you don't mind playing it 3 more times in a row.
Right.
He played that thing 3 more times in a row for me. That's been one of my favorite songs all time to this day.
Nice, man.
To this day, man.
Yeah.
Like how did that even, you and Future teaming up for that record, how did that even happen?
Well, it was an alley-oop, man. Okay, so word in Atlanta got around that, I'm trying to work on my first DJ single. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with a lot of artists, and I'm telling them like, yo, pretty soon I'm gonna want to, put a record together. Same with the producers, telling, popular producers, same thing. So Mike Will made it, platinum producer Mike Will made it. He used to come to my Club Cream on Fridays and used to bang on the door. Yo, what's up with Mike Will? He used to introduce himself and he used to tell me what, Gucci records he produced. And he's like, yo, let's check out my beats. So, I never heard of him. I don't know what he's talking about. So I'm just like, all right, kind of brush him off. Next week, he's back, says the same thing. Next week, same thing, to the point where I'm like, all right, man, give me the beat CD, man. Give me the beat CD. I'll check it out. Listening to him like, oh, dang, he got some dope ass beats. So then next thing you know, he comes back the next week. Yo, did you listen to the beat CD? I'm like, yeah, I checked it out. I'm like, we exchanged numbers. He said, come by the studio. Now I come by the studio, it's in this little hole in the wall, look like his setup is like in a closet, kind of, right? But he's cool, but at this point, this is like early Mike Will, early Future.
Yeah.
I'm who I am already, but it's still just early with those artists. Now, no, at the same time, Rocco was bringing Future to the radio station. It was like, Infamous, I need you and your partner, Lil Bankhead, to break him. You know, this is Future. He's dope. His music is crazy, right? So we're getting to know him a little bit with his music. And then maybe like a month or two later, man, Future just started heating up on these mixtapes, like heavy. And then Mike Will's making the beat, so he's heating up. So then I'm looking at him like, so then Mike Will stepped to me. He was like, yo, he's like, Infamous, this is what you need to do. He was like, we got this song called Itchin, right, that we got. So I was like, man, if you about to put it on a mixtape, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'd rather just let's just make something. It was like, nah, this is it. This could spark your whole, you know, for you wanting to put albums out and all that. I'm like, man.
Yes, sir.
So now he gave it to me, it was rough. I told him don't put it on no mixtape, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody to hear it before I premiere it. So next thing you know, it's on a mixtape. And it was on one of Future's hottest mixtapes at the time. So it kind of took off on a street level. So then I was kind of mad about that. And they was like, you know, Infamous, trust me, what you're going to do with it is going to work. So I'm like, all right. So I never played the record in the club. This is all studio listening. So I knew how dope it was. But when I played it at Velvet Room one Sunday and just saw how the reaction was and just the sound of it, I said, yo.
I'm a witness. I know how it was. I know what it did to me.
Yeah.
In that club that night.
And it was an unmixed. This is the unmixed version. So I said, send me the files. I get the files, mix the record, make a clean version, put my little DJ Infamous talk on it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, I released it as a single independently. I shot the video independently. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Now, by the time I shot this video, Future is on fire.
Yeah.
Like Will's production is on fire. So now it was like, okay, I put this record out, and I ain't gonna lie, man, I did it independently. I got some label offers for that single, but they wasn't big enough. They wasn't like, you know, I got like one offer. I got like they offered me like $20,000, like a $30,000 advance or some shit like that, or some stuff.
You don't
like
tell them though, they better not disrespect you like that ever again.
Listen, I said to myself, I'm like, yo, I'll make that in iTunes. I'll make way over that in iTunes alone.
Yeah, that's
crazy. This is iTunes days. You know what I'm saying? This ain't streaming yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just had my thinking hat on. And of course, I made way more than that. You know what I'm saying? And so I did that independently. But what that did was other labels saw how I worked it independently, which later on got my bigger deal, which was with E1.
That's
so
right.
I always looked at that record as, you know, that was like my, you know, a way for me to get to a bigger distribution, to get more money. You know what I'm saying? To have more, get more royalties or more points on my records and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not a bad song because the thing was hot. I'm here to tell you, you know, I'm not gonna lie. If anybody's not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie.
All right,
that thing was hot, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. That's my baby right there, man. That's how I learned radio. You know, putting your own money up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I had to ask my wife, like, hey, you cool with me spending $15,000 to put towards this record? And she was like, you know, if it's gonna help us, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned independent at that point. You know what I'm saying? So when I get to the majors and these distribution companies, I know what's going on because I did it independently. You know, and I ain't gonna lie, man, that independent check, man, that my first check, woo. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is
give me more. Give me more.
Listen, that first check, boy, I was like, this is all me. Like, damn.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna front. It was good for my mental, man, and just learning the business. And I'm glad I did it that way. You know, a lot of people think, well, you should have signed it. It could have made the record bigger. But like, yeah, but my splits on the record would have been lower. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, you know, I was my own manager. I was my own record label. You know what I'm saying? I paid out whoever worked for me. So, you know, the bulk of the money just came back to me.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to touch on this because I have a problem with this, man. When I'm out somewhere and the DJs and they'll play one song and then the next song they play won't even match, and then the song after that won't even match. The transition game as a DJ.
Yeah.
How important is the transition game as a DJ? Because I'm telling you, it's times where I've been out and I'm like, you know what? I'm about to sit down. I can't believe he's playing this right now. How important is your transition game as a DJ?
The transition game is very important. Like you said, a DJ can play one record and you jam and you dancing, and then the next record you be like, man, let me go sit down. And I think that's from poor, like not paying attention to your crowd.
Yeah.
I'm saying like one thing I always did at the Cayman Islands party that me and you was doing, I looked for where you was at and who you was around, and then I looked to see who was sitting down. So then I'm like, okay, I see what he's doing. Okay, cool. I got to get them up. I was like, so you know what? Let me blend another record to see if this record will get them up. Okay, they didn't feel in that record. You ever know how sometimes DJs will play a record shorter than they will certain other records? Like some records are longer than others. Sometimes that DJ is trying to find out, like is trying to find that record or that genre of music to get more people on the dance floor.
Oh, wow.
And so
I never knew that.
Yeah, so I mean, a real DJ is gonna blend it to where it's gonna seem like only the vocals changed. Like the tempo is gonna be the same. So I don't want to get you off beat. I'm gonna keep that tempo the same to try to get you up. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of DJs don't read their crowds. A lot of DJs just DJ and they're not looking around like where's the hot spots or the hot moments in the crowd or, you know, stuff like that. You know, so while you're entertaining some people trying to get them up on one side, I may look to the other side, like, okay, he's doing that on that side. Okay, I got to get them up. Let me see what record I can play to get them up. Okay, that record didn't work. Okay, he still got him over there. Cool. That record didn't work. He still got him over there because everybody else is vibing. I'm just trying to get these people that aren't up. Then it'd be that one record. Oh, I got them. Now that I got them and I got him. Now I got to keep everybody right where they're at. A lot of DJs don't think like that. And that's the problem.
And it's evident. Trust me, it's evident.
The problem. They don't do that. You know, I remember at one point in the party, it got to the point where it became a game. Like, okay, let's see who's really not partying in here. Let me just look around. Sound guy, you're not partying. Like it really was a thing. I'm in here like we had the energy so high off so many records I was playing, and you know, it got to the point where it's like, okay, who else can we target? you was working the room, like you was taking that mic everywhere, which is great. Listen, whenever you're in a I'll say a corporate setting like that can be intimate because you know everybody, that makes a party when you could go to everybody and loosen them up while I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, see, I don't got to talk the whole time. I don't have to do that. You could do that, and I'm a team player. If you got the mic, okay. And if you notice, I'm playing the records off of what you're saying and your energy. So if you're saying a chant or something, I may be like, well, you know what, let me play that record next since that's what he's saying. And it goes with the record that's with right now. Like a lot of that plays in my head. Like I could DJ off of you. You could be hype man. And I could DJ off what you saying.
And that makes you that much more better at what you do, man, because that's one of the things I told my wife. I said, babe, he ain't even try to snatch the mic back from me or nothing. He was just playing them records. He was just spinning them things, letting them hits come back to back to back, and the energy level was just crazy, man. Yeah. So I respect you for that, bro. Like for real. That's
teamwork, man. Like again, we're all there to party. And after a while, I'm like, obviously he's done this before. You know what I'm saying? Me and you've never worked together. So my thing is, let me bring in my expertise in, and whatever you're saying or doing, let me put the music around that. So that way it goes together and it just meshes that way. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll sit back and just wait for you to say something. And then when you say it, I'm like, let me play that record. Let me play this record.
There it is.
And there it is, man. And it made a great party. I ain't gonna lie, about like the second or third day, I was like, I think you was like, yo, you was gonna chill because I think you wanted to hang with your wife or you wanted to hang with your peers.
No, remember I had to leave.
Oh, that's right, you had to leave. That's right.
I had to leave. I had to come back and work. I had to come back and do the pregame, postgame, and halftime show for the game.
Yeah, I was asking. I was like, so he's not. So I got to do this all by myself tonight. So just me by myself. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, is there like an HD2 around here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I could get comfortable with that. You know, so like I said, man, I'm a team player, man. You know, teamwork always makes a great party. You know, I think the parties that are whack is when somebody is acting selfish. You know what I'm saying? I can't have that. You know, I'm a team player all day.
That's cool riddance, man. Last one I have for you. What new projects do you have now that you're working on? I know you just got a song came out, Badass.
Yes.
That thing is dope. That's
Yeah.
hot. Talk about that a little bit for me.
Listen, Badass I made that record for the ladies. A lot of my records have been street records, you know, with a lot of street artists, you know what I'm saying? I got real comfortable, you know, in hip hop, you can get real comfortable putting out the same kind of records. And, you know, my records was clubs, strip clubs, you know, just hard hitting, you know, like the Itchin. But I never catered to my female fan base, never, out of all these years, you know what I'm saying? So I during COVID, I was like, you know what? I need to cater to my female fan base, give a record for the ladies. So me being from Michigan, I reached out to Cash Doll. She's from Detroit. Then, you know, Mulatto being the hottest new female rapper out now. I reached out to her. And then Benny the Butcher, you know, he's never really been on the radio and he doesn't have no club records. So me as a DJ, I said, you know what? In his world, it's just lyrics and bars in his world. But let me bring him to my world. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to open the door to where, you know, he's signed to Rock Nation. You know, Jay-Z loves him. Everybody that's lyrical in hip hop loves Benny the Butcher. You know what I'm saying? And I decided, it was like, yo, you know, let me put him in my world so that his world and my world can coexist. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Hitmaker produced it. Shout out to London J, OG Parker. You know, these are all platinum writers and producers. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I was a little nervous, you know, making it during COVID. You know, in COVID, everybody trying to figure it out. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how long we're gonna be in the house for. But one thing I decided to do, I was like, you know what, I can make music in the house. That can't stop.
That's right.
You know, producing records, that can't stop. So everybody sent me their verses, and this was my first female record that I ever made, catering to women. I wanted women to feel like, you know, they a badass. You know, when they get dressed, they look in the mirror before we go out. They look in that mirror with their camera.
We know they do that now. We know they do that.
Exactly. So I wanted a record for them. You know what I'm saying? Badass. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we at, man. And so far it's doing real good. You know what I'm saying? I've had the record out 4 weeks. We're up to 4 million streams. Radio's doing good. And I'm feeling real good about it, man. Like, real talk.
That's dope. DJ Infamous, I want to thank you, man, for joining the HD Connection.
Yeah.
And keep doing great things, man. You know I love what you're doing, and I'm always follow you, my brother.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the love too, man. And listen, sometime in 2021, we gotta rock another party together, man.
You already know.
You
already know.
All right.
You already know, bro.
No doubt.
Man.